Hello folks. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Good. Welcome to the session. Welcome to my class. Hello Sanki. Hello Altaya. Hello Kashmiri. Yes, I'm very good. Thank you so much for joining the sessions, folks. Yes, it's 4:30. So let's go ahead and start our session. As always, please feel free to go ahead, type your questions, say hello to each other and everything and all that. So as always, I want to start by quickly explaining what are these classes about, just in case, because every day we may have some new students joining in. Hello Navya. Hi, how are you? So this training, training, what we are trying to do here is this is what is called as Bari Basic. Bari Basic, that is the training that we are doing here. That website is baribasic.com. Yeah, baribasic.com. baribasic.com, that is our website. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to teach basics. We are trying to teach some basic web programming to students on the internet, live on Twitch, where you can chat with me like a classroom. The idea for me for these classes is to teach someone who knows nothing about programming, specifically web programming, that they understand a little bit about web programming. That is the agenda of these classes. Now, what is web programming? What is basic? Because what is basic to you may not be basic to me. What is advanced to you may be basics to someone else. So there's always this confusion. So what is our reference point? So the reference point is very simple. So if I go here on my website, baribasic.com, there's a link to our textbook. So let's go to this textbook. This is the textbook we are using throughout these sessions. Okay, so along with these sessions, if you want to read, if you're one of those students who likes to read the chapters and learn from it, then yes, you can go to our website, baribasic.com. It has the link to our website, right? Textbook right here. In this textbook, go to web tutorials, and here there are a lot of links. This is our textbook, which I'm constantly adding new chapters, updating content. It is open source as well, so you can also go ahead and contribute if you feel like. And so here you have an option called fully built demo. It is a demo web app. It's a working web app. It's a basic web app. Let me show that to you here, this link. So what does this web app do here? This web app gives you responsive design, which means depending on the type of screen, whether it's a computer screen or an iPhone, the web page will automatically become smaller or bigger. That is called responsive design. This simple web app does it. And it has a navigation, navigation like this. Basic navigation from one page to another page. This web app has it. Okay. And also this web app talks to an API server where it can register for a new account. You can sign in with the account details, collect basic tokens, and also make authenticated token-based API calls to an API server. Now, if what I just told you about this web app and the words that I used, if you're able to understand it, and if you're telling yourself you know all this, then this class is not for you. But whatever I just told you, whatever you're seeing on the screen, if you don't know how to build that, then this class is for you. That is why it is called a Bari Basic. Bari in our language means the very core essential basics. Okay, so welcome to the class. I see that there are viewers here. So if you are watching this class, please do follow the channel. I'm trying to become a Twitch affiliate, which needs at least 50 to 60 followers. So if you're watching this class, and right now I have about 30 to 35 followers, I think, please follow the channel and help me out so I can cross that 50 to 60 threshold limit. So please help me out with it. So today this is class number 6. So this is the 6th class. Those of you who are seeing this class for the first time, please understand that we do have a YouTube channel. It's available. The link is available in my profile, and also in the chat we'll be posting the links, so you can use those links and watch all the old tutorials. They're available on Twitch, and they're also available on YouTube. So that is how you can find the previous classes. So this is class number 6. So yeah, 6. Wait, yeah, 6. Okay, so and also we are in the middle of a topic yesterday. So I'm going to resume from yesterday's class. And as I mentioned, if you are coming in new for this class for the first time, first thing is please follow the channel. Second thing is you can watch the previous class videos on YouTube and also on Twitch. Okay, so let's go here. So let me go ahead and hide the timings thing here, class timings. Okay, let's close that. Now let me go ahead and open PowerPoint. Let me do that. Okay, PowerPoint is coming up. Let's open PowerPoint. Let's make this bigger. Yes, there we go. This is our PowerPoint I'm using for all the classes. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. And yesterday, this is where we were. Yesterday, Bari Basic Session 6. So this is continuing to Session 6 as well. 5 and 5. Where is the and symbol? I'm not getting the and symbol, so I'm just gonna say 5 6. Okay, so we are learning the basics HTML tags. That is what we are doing. Yes, thank you Kashmiri, thank you very much. So folks, when you're watching, even if you have nothing to say, no question, just type something like yes, thank you, continue in the chat, so it makes me feel like I'm in a classroom and I get that interaction. It really motivates me. Okay, so keep typing hello, thank you and things like that. Yes, so because I cannot see you, if I could see you I would not need that. So this is the basic HTML tags we were learning yesterday. Okay, and then yesterday we tried to do this, and then we tried to do this, we tried to do this, and this is where we were. We are trying to use some images and so on. So let's go to our CodePen as always. So let me open CodePen. This is what we use in our classes. We use CodePen. Shift 7, Shift 7. Yes, yes, that's right, Altay. I just noticed it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, let me just try that. Let me go back to that. Shift 7. I wanted to. Thank you, Altaya. Thank you so much. I have my keyboard layout is a little different. I had an imported keyboard here which has Japanese characters for some reason. It's a friend of mine went to Japan and he gave me a gift. But so where there, I think they have different layouts. So that I get confused. You can see it actually. So you can see it's a Japanese keyboard. I don't know if you can notice it. The ampersand symbol is gone. It is somewhere else, and so I forget all the shortcuts. So thank you, Altaya. Thank you so much. So let me get CodePen up and running. Yesterday we were doing this. Let me go to my dashboard. Oh, 1 second, guys. My water bottle. 1 second. Sorry folks, just 1 minute. My water bottle kind of spilled the water on my computer. 1 second, I'll be back. One minute, guys. I kind of spilled, my water bottle cap was a little loose. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think we are okay. Sorry about that. So thank you, Altaya, for the shortcut for the ampersand symbol. Thank you very much. Let me drink some water here. So this is what we are doing yesterday, session number 5A. And we are trying to add some paragraphs and headers. Let me take the output. On the right side, code on the left side. So right side is our output and left side is our code. But yesterday I was doing images, I was talking about paths. Now for that, before I use CodePen, I wanted to show you folks how to use paths in Visual Studio Code, right? So let me open Visual Studio Code as well, yesterday's code, okay? See, this is another thing which you have to understand, folks, especially if you're new to programming. The thing is, when you're coding, you will use a lot of developer tools, okay? See, right now I'm using Visual Studio Code, PowerPoint. I'll also have a Scratchpad. I have 2 browsers open side by side. Sometimes I have 3-4 browsers open because I want to test on multiple browsers. I'll also have my Postman open. I also want to, search online for answers and everything. So I'll have a lot of tabs open for that. This is why I always recommend that if you're going to become a serious programmer, make sure you have a second monitor. Okay, many people, especially if you're working on laptops, see right now I'm working on I think it's a 2K or a 3K monitor. So I'm able to keep all the things on the screen, and also I have second and third monitors. So my computer supports 3 monitors. So whenever I'm working on a big project, I use all the 3 monitors at the same time, and I also use my Mac and iMac to work. So if you go to my website, you'll see a photo of my office where I have like 6 monitors whenever I'm working on a big project. Right now I don't have any projects because of the pandemic. I don't have any work right now. But yes, if you are training to become a good developer, if you're practicing to become a very good developer, then you must have minimum of 2 screens. So if you're working on a laptop, then 100% you need a monitor. And also please make sure you have a wireless keyboard and mouse, especially for programming, because when you're programming, you're getting stressed. If you have wireless, if you have less wires on your computer desk, that is good for you. All right. So coming back, so I got my Visual Studio open. So this is where I was trying to teach you folks about how to use the image tag, img tag, and I also wanted to kind of show you guys how to use paths, local paths. Paths, there are 2 types. You have local paths, you have relative paths, you have URI, URL paths. In fact, yesterday we did talk about that. See here, yeah, there you go, local path. So right now we are doing this local path, and this is going to get a little complicated. So please be with me while you learn this. And as I said, this is mainly for basics, so very basic. So I'm going to go very deep, even for simple concepts. So this is what I had yesterday. So let me run this. Please remember, you don't have to practice Visual Studio Code right now, but I am just showing it to you so you know how it works in Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go here to terminal, open a terminal, and then I'll run my server, local server. I'll get this link. I'll click on this, open, and then I'm going to say /index.html. So I'm going to keep this on the right side. Here I'm going to keep my code also on the left side. So there you go, this is my code. So my code is on the left side. Let me wrap this here, toggle word wrap. So my code is on the left side, my output is on the right side. This is what we did yesterday. Now wait a second, this is not what we did yesterday. No, we had something else. 1 second folks, 1 second. So let me go and source. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, this is what I wanted yesterday. Let me close this. Let me go open a terminal. Let me get the HTTP server running. Okay, and open, and then /index.html. Yes, this is what we were doing yesterday. Perfect. So this is the code on the left side, just like yesterday, and I have the output on the right side. So yesterday we learned how to use this small photo because we used a big photo and it was looking completely big. So we are able to use the small photo, and this is how it looks. So here, because we are doing it locally, local development, we have to understand a little bit about paths. So let me open the folder here. Let me right click on this, reveal in File Explorer. Okay, here we go. This is the folder. So you'll notice that I have my files, view, list. This is where things will get a little complicated, and even if you don't understand everything, don't worry about it. You will eventually learn it. So I have this file, index.html. That is our code file, which you can see here. This is our code file. So here you have to understand the concept of neighbors or siblings in files. So right now index.html is where we are writing the code. So every file we have to think with respect to that file. That is like the root file for us. Okay, so index.html is our root file because that is where we are coding. So index.html is a root file because that is where we are coding. And the image you can see is I have a follower, I think. Hi Maunisha, thank you for following. Thank you so much. So the session5.jpg is a neighbor of index.html. Similarly, you have a file called session5small.jpg. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. Yes. So session5.jpg extensions are very important here, so you have to remember that. So session5.jpg is a neighbor of index.html. Session5 small.jpg is also a neighbor of this index file. And there's another file called style.css which has some CSS. Even that is also a neighbor of index.html. We'll talk about CSS in a future class. So these are all these files are neighbors of each other. So when you have files which are neighbors of each other, you can directly write their file name and they will come in the output. Okay, I hope that is clear. So when you're working code locally, where the files are matters a lot. So let's do one more thing. I'm gonna go here. Let me go back to my browser here. Okay, and then let me just do this. Okay, and 1 second. Okay, so when you're programming, you will end up opening a lot of files, lot of folders. Get used to it. That is how it works with browsers. So now I want one more image. One more image I want to take. So I'm going to go to my Unsplash website as always, and I'm going to say search for, let's see, again I'll search for teacher. Okay, I'm going to search for teacher, and let's see. Okay, let's take this person here. So I'll take this photo and let me download this. Okay, I think the image is downloading. Let's see. Yeah, it's down. Okay, save file. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Okay, and yeah, I think it's saved. So like yesterday I taught you how to make this file smaller using your font view. We're gonna do that. So I'm gonna go here, resize. I want this about 400 pixels. That's all I need right now. So and then I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this in my repository. So I'm gonna go to my folder, project folder, right? Yes, there we go. So this one again, I'll call this session 6 small dot session 6 small. So we'll close the downloads folder, we'll close this lady here, we'll close this image, and here, there you go. This is our file for today. Okay, and now now I want this image. Okay, but what I'll do here is, now this is where you're gonna learn about a little bit of path. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder called img, and I'll take this session 6, this orange teacher photo, I'll cut it and paste it in the img folder. Okay, so now see what happens. Now this is the file name. I'll take the file name and I'll go here, and yesterday I told you, I know we're going to be doing a lot of copy paste. That is my style of coding. So I already have a code for image. I'll take this and I'll paste this here. Now I want the image name, so I'll take the image name, right click, rename. Never ever type anything if you can copy paste. Please remember that. So this is the image name. I put it here and I'll load this. I'll call this teacher. I'll call this teacher. I'll say teacher smile for the first photo. Let's give a name like that. And this one, let's call this the orange teacher or something. I think she has an orange folder. So teacher orange. So I have two images in my file, two images in my code file, and I'm going to reload this page. Okay, look at that, I don't know if you can see it here. The orange image photo, it is not coming. It is not coming even though the spelling is correct. Wait a second, spelling is correct. Okay, code is correct, because if the code was wrong, this smiling teacher image would not have come up. So orange teacher image is missing, because if you look into the folder, you'll notice that this session 5 small image is a sibling, it's a neighbor. So you can directly put the code here like this, and it is working here on the right side. But this girl's image, this teacher's image, the orange teacher image, is inside this folder called img. So we have to write the path correctly. So that is what we are going to do here. So what I'll do here is right click, rename. As I told you, always copy paste, never type anything. So I'll copy this, I'll go to my code. This is how you write the path. The way to write the path is, see right now, this is the root folder. See, this is the root folder. What you see is the root folder. So from the root folder, you are going inside the img folder. So you are going inside. That's very important. So this is our root folder. Why? Because index.html is in this folder, and that is where we are writing our code. So from this root folder, we are going inside to the img folder. So that is what we have to do in the code also. So I'll go to my code. Now I want to go inside the img folder. So I will say img and I'll say slash. Okay, now look at that, already in Visual Studio Code it is showing, do you want to use this image? Okay, that's another reason why I like to code on Visual Studio Code, but when you are learning you'll use CodePen only. Okay, so path is correct and the image is correct. Now I'm gonna save this file. Now Visual Studio Code automatically saves, so that is already taken care of. Now I'll come here on the right side. This is our output on the right side, code is on the left side, and I'll reload this page. Look at that. The moment we gave the right path, both the images, they are loading. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that step one more time with another image, just so that you understood how I am doing this. Okay, so first let's get an image. So I'm going to go to a website here. Let me do that. Let me go again. Let me go to unsplash.com. Okay, let me go to let's say barista. Let's search for barista. Right, there you go. We'll pick yeah, a coffee photo. There we go. Let me see. Yes, this looks good. So we'll take this photo here and I'll say download. I'll say okay. Okay, this is the photo. I'll open this in Irfan view. I want to make this smaller, so I'll go to image and resize. I want to make it 400. That's it, not more than that. And I'll save this, and I'll save this in my project folder. And here what I'll do is I'll create another folder called img2, just so that I can show you how to use paths and images. So img2. And let's call this session 6 small b. So I have the image. Let me close all this. So now again what happening is the index.html is our root folder. Okay, now from the root folder we are digging in, going inside the img2 folder, and inside that we have a file name called session6 small b.jpg. So how do we write the code? We already have a code here. Remember what I keep telling you, always copy paste, don't type if you can avoid it. So this folder is called img2 and the image name is, I'm just taking it now, image name is session6 small b.jpg. Okay, and this is the barista. Yeah, barista is the coffee thing. Okay, so now let me go ahead and now the code is written. So see what's happening here. Img tag source is from the root, go inside img2 and then go to session6 small b.jpg. that is the image name, and then finally you have an alternative text. As I told you, if the image is not found, the alternative text will be displayed. So let me reload the page, and there we go. I have the barista's photo showing up. So that is how you use paths. Now paths, there are a lot of complicated things you can do. Like for example, if you have 10 different folders and all the folders have HTML files and different folders have image files, how do you map all that? Yes, you can get complicated with paths. It can get confusing also. We will do that as the classes progress. But for today, two simple things when it comes to local paths. One is where the image is your neighbor. Okay, when the image is the neighbor for your HTML file, you directly mention the image name. Now don't forget, every file, images, music files, video files, they always have an extension. So anytime you're using a file, image file for example, in your code, you must mention the extension, otherwise it will not show up on the output. So that is what we are doing here. Now in these two cases, what I'm doing, in these two cases, the images are inside folders, and those folders are neighbors of index.html. So I use the folder name first, and then I mention the file name. Same thing I'm doing on line number 34 and on line number 36. So I'm using the folder name followed by the image name. Okay, that is how I use images locally on Visual Studio Code. Now please understand, this is when you're using images locally. Thank you Navia for the confirmation. Glad that thank you for the feedback. So there you go folks, that is how you use images locally. So now I've done it 2 times already, so I think that is good enough for now. And if you have any doubts, I'm sure you can watch the video again either on Twitch or on our YouTube channel. The link is available on the channel. And those who are watching, if you're not already followed the channel, please follow the channel and help me out. I'm trying to become a Twitch affiliate and I don't have enough followers, so please do help me out with that. So now that we are done that, now let's come back. Now till now we are using Visual Studio Code because I want to show you guys how to do the paths and all that. So now let's jump back to CodePen. So let me go back to CodePen here. Now this is my Visual Studio Code output. I'll close it. Now this is my CodePen output. I'll keep it open. Let me close Visual Studio Code. Before I do that, let me just make sure everything is fine here. And yes, okay. So let me see. Okay, now before I close, I'm going to copy this code here, and I'll put that in my CodePen. Okay, so what I did was the code which is working locally on Visual Studio Code, I copy pasted it and I put it on my CodePen, because now we are back to using CodePen. Now here, as per the PowerPoint, I showed you guys the local path. I just showed you how to do it. Okay, now we are going to use URL. So how does URL work? That is what we'll do in CodePen. So I'm coming back here. Let me see. Okay, so now you'll notice here that now we're in CodePen. All right, let me close Visual Studio Code. We are done with this. We are done with Visual Studio Code for now, so we'll close all these folders. We don't need this. We are back to Visual Studio Code. And this is what we have. And you'll see here that the output on this side, you have the 3 words: teacher smile, teacher orange, and barista. Now what does that mean? That means this web page is not able to find the files, so it is just showing the alternate text on the output, which is correct because we haven't yet given the path of the images, because these path, the sources that we're using, they were working on my computer. Now CodePen is not running directly on my computer. CodePen is running on the CodePen server, so obviously they don't have these files. They don't have the files on my computer. So what we'll do here is, now these 3 images we'll upload to CodePen as assets, and when you upload these images as assets, you will get URI or URL of the image. Some people say URI, some people say URL. You can use whichever method you would like to use. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. Now if you look at CodePen on the bottom left corner, the second button, oh wait a second, you can't see it on the screen. Let me bring this to the right side. Okay, you see here on the bottom, I'm showing my cursor right now. I'm moving it. This is the assets folder on CodePen. So please select assets, and you'll get a nice asset window where you can upload images, files, whatever you want. So now what I'll do here is I will go to now all the images are on my computer in the project folder. So let's go to the project folder. So let's go to desktop, let's go to this PC, let's go to data, code repos, and here we have this, and here is our images. So what I'll do here is I'll take this image, small image, keep it on the left side. 1 second. and I'm going to take this small image and upload it. And I'll take this other image of this orange teacher, upload it. Oh, sorry. What happened? One second. Let me look at the assets again. Yeah. I don't know if it was uploaded. One second. So now I don't think I can directly attach it. It's not recognizing it. So I'm gonna have to upload. So click on this, and then you go to tutorials, code repos, Bari basic, and yes, there we go. Here it is. Open. It's uploading. We'll wait for it to finish. Okay, let's upload the second image also. It's in IMG folder, the orange teacher. It's uploading. Last image. And it's uploading. So this is how you upload images to CodePen. If you're new to CodePen, now you know how to upload images. You go into the assets button on the bottom left corner in CodePen window and upload. So all my images are available here. You can see here session 5 small, session 6 small, and hey, this one is called this is the barista image we talked about. So now what I'll do here is, now do you see this? There's an option called copy as. So let me copy the, look at this, you have many options. Now the one I want is, I want the copy URL. So I want to display the image using the URL. So I'm going to click on copy URL, and then I'll go to my code here. And I'll put the URL here. Okay, and now again I'm going to go to assets. I'll copy the second image. I think the second image is the orange teacher, and I'll go here, paste that here. So you'll notice that I am pasting the full URL of the image. Okay, let me do it again. Let's take this and then this one. One second, I think. Okay, there we go. Yeah, perfect. So I have all the 3 images, URLs added to the code. So it's already saved. So let me go ahead and see the output. There we go. So this is the output which is coming from online CodePen. So earlier when we are doing it in Visual Studio Code, we got the exact same output by having the files locally, and we had to use paths, digging deeper into it and not digging deeper into it and all that. Whereas here in CodePen we are using URL. Now in URL looks something like this. A URL is like www, that is called a URL. So here I have the image URL given by CodePen, because we are using CodePen to practice programming, and the images are linked and the images are loading right here. So if you look at this, now let's go back to our sample code. Okay, our sample code is this. Let me go back, scroll down, basic tags. Yeah, there we go. Basic tags, images, and links. So if I go to this, and I go to this, and I go to my CodePen link, this is the chapter. This is the example code from our chapter. And I go here and I try to look at the output. Let me look at the output here. So this is what we are trying to do. So we are trying to use some tags, show some images, and so on. So you can see here you have the header tag. I've shown you how to use the header tag in the previous class. I've shown you how to use paragraph. I've shown you how to use the horizontal divider, and I have also now shown you how to use an image. So we are able to use images here, and we used images here. So heading tag, paragraph tag, HR tag, image tags, and images I've shown you both. local files and URL files, how to make it happen. That much is done as of now. So the next thing what I want to teach is I want to show you a little bit about how to make a very simple list, okay, and then I want to show you guys how to use a simple link. So these are the two topics which I'm going to show you next. But right now, so we've been talking for about half an hour here, so let's go ahead and take a short 2 to 3 minute break. Okay, so I'm gonna have to drink some water and just take a short break here, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. So please don't go anywhere. I mean, yes, take a break, go to the restroom, drink some water and so on, and come back after the break. So see you in 3 to 5 minutes. Hello folks, welcome back from the break. I hope you guys and girls also took a break. I also hope you guys are still here in the class. You girls are still here in the class. So So now I am going to show how to make a simple display of lists, and then I'm going to show how to use the link tag. Okay, those are the basic tags which you need to know. So let's go ahead, and I have the example code here. The good thing about the textbook and my classes is that whatever I'm teaching you, it is already done. So I can just focus on explaining the concepts to you, and you can just focus on seeing it. And the best part is whatever I'm teaching you, it's already available on my textbook, so you don't have to make any notes or something. It's already available for you. Alright, so let me go ahead here. So if I go here, I would like to show a simple list. So when you look at a list, so let me do that here. So let me create a duplicate slide. So now we are looking at lists. Okay, now list, there are many types of lists. There's a lot of combinations. So in HTML, the thing is you can do any kind of customization. You can do all kind of colors and special effects and all that. You're welcome Cash, you're welcome Kashmiri. So lists, many types. Now I am focusing on basics, so I'm only going to show two types of basic lists. Okay, now in a list, normally what happens is, till now you've seen the tags. You have something called img tag. You use that to show images, and that's it. Okay, you have the p tag, and then you put sentences inside the p tag. That's it. Now in the list, you'll do what is called as nesting tag. So list is actually made up of two parts. So if you look at the example code here, first you mention the type of list. Okay, you mention the type of list, and then you mention the list element. Okay, so two types, two things work together. So first you mention the type of list by using the ul tag, and second you mention the actual element using the li. Let me change the color. I like to change these colors. Yeah, I like to keep these things colorful. I don't know, I like colors. Hey, so no, that color was too light. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is used to indicate that you're about to start building a list, and you mention what kind of list it is, and then yes, thank you Navya, and then you have the actual list using the li element. Now obviously these are not like img tag where you just have one tag, no closing and all. So these things do have a closing tag. So the closing tag is going to be, as always, like this. Same thing with the list element. We call them elements in HTML. You can also call them DOM elements, DOM, DOM elements. I just call them elements. So this is also closing tag is like this. So this is for unordered list, which means there is no numbering, like bullet points and things like that. So if I want an ordered list, whereas the items are added, you have things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is called an ordered list. Then you want numbers to show up. Now for that, you will use the same format. The li list element is the same, but you are going to use, instead of ul, you are going to use ol. So there you go. So this is how we go ahead and build some lists. These are the tags which we use for list. Now let's go ahead and actually use them in our CodePen example code. Okay, so going back to CodePen, left side CodePen as usual, right side is the output. So what I would like to do is, now here are the images here. Where is the images? Not this one. Yeah, there we go. Yes, so I got the images here. So as always, I'm gonna use this HR tag, add a simple divider. Let me just see if it comes. See. Okay, I have the divider. So now I want to go ahead and do the list. So the list tag is here, as I mentioned before, never ever type. So I'm gonna first want to do the unordered list. So I'll copy this. I'll go here to my code and I'll paste this here. Okay, that is the unordered list. And now I want to put some items. So I want the list tag. We have a lot of winds here in our small village town, so that's why the doors, they never stay where they are. Let's go ahead and copy the list item code as well. Okay, so I want to have 5 items in my list. So what I'll do is I'll copy this and paste this 5 times. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have an unordered list with 5 items. Okay, so now I want some sentences, I want some items in the list. So just like yesterday, we are going to use Sherlock Holmes. So that is what I always use when I want some content. I believe I talked about this yesterday. When you are practicing web programming, you'll need some sample images, sample content. Don't waste your time making your own images. Don't waste your time making your own content. So I always prefer to use Sherlock Holmes things. It's available here. Just go to my tutorials. You have something called content and images. So ready to use images and contents are available. So I'm going to go to the content here, and here I have a link to Sherlock Holmes, which is open source, which is free, license free. So I'll go here, I'll go to let's choose Return of Sherlock Holmes and Adventure of Empty House. So I need some sentences. So let me take this here. Code is on the left side, the content is on the right side. So I'll take up some sentences and copy paste them like this. One line, a few lines at a time. So remember, never type if you can avoid typing. Always copy paste and save time. It's not enough if you are a good developer. You also have to be a smart developer who can get things done fast. You can see here now these sentences, I can copy paste it without any problems because this is open source, it's a free novel, so we can use it. So there you go, 5 lines are done. Now let me save this and look at the output. Look at that, lists. Okay, it is an unordered list, which means we have a bullet point. If you want, you can change the bullet point into an arrow, square, and all that, but right now we don't need to worry about it. So I have a list with bullet points, which is an unordered list, and it has 5 list items, and that is already done on the screen. So I hope that was clear. It's very easy to use. Now those of you who are watching my classes regularly, you may feel like this all looks very simple. It is true. See, the thing is with web programming, when you are teaching things like, okay, I will use image tag, I'll use list tag, I'll use h1 tag. Now when you are learning this one topic at a time, it looks very easy, but when you have to build your own web app, you have to combine all this. You will have to decide what to use, when to use, where to use, how to use. So that is when the real challenge of a developer becomes clear. So right now all of this will look very simple, but don't forget, this is just the very, very basic tags. Okay, so I have an unordered list with 5 list items. So now I want to go ahead and have an ordered list. Okay, now so I'll go here, I'll take my ordered list code from my PowerPoint, paste it, just like I always say, if you can avoid typing, then avoid typing, use copy paste as much as possible. I want to use a horizontal line, so I'm going to use an horizontal line here. Now inside this ordered list means you'll get some numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's some problem here. Let me just save this. Let me reload this just to be sure. There you go, guys. Looks like CodePen is having some issues. Oh, it's back. Alright. Okay, so I have an ordered list. So once again, I want to have 5 list items. So I'll copy paste this list tag, and I'll paste this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 list items, and I want some content. So I'll go back to my Sherlock Holmes novel here, and I'll copy some lines. Now as I'm doing this, I just want to remind yourself, now all of this will definitely look very simple. It is simple. Okay, you may even feel like, hey, this looks very simple and I can do this. Yes, you can do it. That is why you're attending this class. But please remember, when you're learning these things alone, one by one thing at a time, it looks easy. But it is when you start building your own app, the real challenges will come, and I'm sure you will overcome those challenges. But just by looking at this, do not come to the conclusion that all of this is very easy. Yes, thank you, Zanki 327, thank you so much. So I have 5 list items in an ordered list. So I've saved the pen. So let me go here, reload this, and there you are. Do you see that on the right side of the screen? I have a bullet point list with a unordered list in the top and a ordered list in the bottom. So that is how you go ahead and use a list in your HTML programming code. So I hope that was clear. I don't think I have to repeat this like I did with the images, because this is pretty straightforward. It's very useful, because whenever you have some content on the screen, if you have a like short single word, single sentence content, you are going to use the list tags. You can choose to use unordered list or ordered list. It's really up to you. Okay, so now this is the story with the list. Now one last topic which I would like to discuss is links. Yes, links. That is what we are going to do next. Now how does a link look? Let me take this code here and I'm going to put this here. Let me create a slide. 1 minute. Okay, now we are going to look into the next HTML tag, which is links. Okay, so the links, it looks something like this. Okay, so now actually whenever I use a link, obviously you have a link with the paragraph. So I'm going to teach you that. So 1 second. So I have okay, I'm writing a general version of a link right now. So let's see. Okay. Okay, let's change some colors so it's easy to remember, easy to see. Okay, so now we are discussing links. And so when it comes to links, all you need is this much, the A tag. Okay, for links we use this tag called as the A tag, but I like to use, whenever I use the A tag, I almost always use it with a sentence, because just putting the link is never a good idea. You'll never have a sentence like where you just put the link title and that's it. No, you always have a sentence. So whenever I use a link in my web programming, I always use it with a paragraph or a sentence. So that is why in the code you're seeing right now on the PowerPoint, you'll notice that these things are the pure link code, whereas I always use it with a paragraph. So let's look at the different components. Okay, so here we go. So you have your paragraph. We always start with the paragraph. So you already discussed paragraph tag. It has an opening tag and it is here. Okay, now as always, after the opening tag you put your paragraph content or sentence. It's really up to you what sentence you want to use. and then comes the link tag, which is you're seeing it for the first time. So the link tag has an opening tag, and inside the opening tag, you have these attributes. Okay, I'm going to talk about attributes as we continue the programming classes, but as of now, attributes are things which you normally include in the opening tag of your HTML. So here I'm using an attribute called href, which I think stands for HTML reference or hyperlink reference. I think that's why it's called href. So that is where you put a value. So this is an attribute called href, and you have to give it a value. So to give a value, you use the equal symbol, and then you use double quotes, and then you give a link. So that is where you mention, okay, now a hyperlink is something which you use to link something. Now if you go to my basic web app here, you have a link here. So if I click on this, it'll open my GitHub repository. Okay, so there you go. That's where you use the link tag to link to something else. So that link, you put it as a value to the href attribute. And then just like how in the paragraph tag, see in the paragraph tag you have the opening tag, and then you have the actual paragraph. So with the link tag also, if you want, you can give some word or sentence. Okay, like right now in our basic web app, you will notice that I have put a word called here, H-E-R-E, here. So that is the word that will be typed in the middle portion after the opening tag but before the closing tag. And then finally you have the A tag closing, because A tag is one of those tags which has an opening and a closing. And finally you have the closing tag of the paragraph. Now please understand that the paragraph tag is not mandatory. You can use the A tag directly, but I always like to use the A tag with the paragraph tag. That is my style of programming. So in these classes I mostly share my style of programming. I can only teach you what I know. So that is how a simple A tag usage looks like. So now you know about the concept. Let's go ahead and actually use it. So now what I want to do here is, let me think of a website. So I have my tutorial website here, which is tutorials.baribasic.com web tutorials. So I'm going to take this link, and I want this link to be visible here at the bottom. That's what I want to do. So I'll go to my code pen. Okay, I'll use a HR tag. I'll keep this here. Let me just keep this here, no problem. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'll put a HR tag. As always, I'm going to copy paste it. Okay, and then let me go to my PowerPoint. Let me copy this. So I'm going to copy the whole thing, and I'll paste it here in my code. So there you go, that is the link. So I have the code. So let me do it like this. Okay, I'm just bringing everything to a single line. If you don't want to bring everything to a single line, that's okay. HTML doesn't care how your code is written as long as the opening and closing tag is perfect. So this is how it looks for me. Now here I want to put some sentence. So I want to say, please visit my online Bari basic textbook. So this is the sentence for the link. I'll put a comma also, and I'll say title is here. It's like how I've used on the Bari basic demo web app. And the link is here. I just kept it somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to take this and I'll put the link inside as a value for the href attribute. So there you go. That is my paragraph with the link. Now if I save this, it should be automatically saved, but let me save this anyway. Okay, perfect. So let me save this. Sorry about the yawn. Sorry. I have some sleep issues. I'm trying to fix them. So let me reload this. If I scroll down, look at that. A nice sentence, and then you have a word here, and that here word has the link. And when I click on this, it will open Okay, it is not able to find. One second, guys. I think we made a spelling mistake here. 1 second. HTTP. Let's see. Tutorials.basic.com. Let me just see. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. If the address is not correct, we will have some issues. So let's go ahead and reload this. Okay, I think the link is not working, so let me use some other link. Okay, so let me use my GitHub link. So I'll take the GitHub link here, and I'll go to my this, and I'm gonna say hey href equals like this. Now save, and then let's go ahead and reload the output, and reload. Why is it not saving? Why is... Oh, where did I keep it? Sorry. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, alright. Let me try this now. Okay guys, so because it is a preview, it is not loading. Okay, it is not loading directly from that. 1 second, let me see. baribasic.com. Hey href equal. Oh, this is why. Sorry. I told you I'm using a Japanese keyboard, and that is creating problems. 1 second. This is the problem. You know, a friend of mine gave me this as a gift. It's a very good keyboard, but the characters are all confusing. So sorry. I was not using the proper symbol. So let me go back here again, and let me go ahead and put that here. Where is that session here? And equals. Okay, so there we go, equals. Let's try this again. I hope this time it's gonna work. I hope it works, because now I think there's some issue with CodePen, guys. I'm really sorry. So this is the way to use href URL. I don't know why it's not working for me at all. It's not working for me. I don't know why. Because the same code I'm using below, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm using the same code here, but it seems to work, but it's not working here. 1 second. It's a simple A tag, but it doesn't seem to want to work. I think I need to make this full screen, folks. 1 second. Alright, let's see. It's the exact same code. I don't know why it's not working. Like, this is one small thing we'll face an issue with sometimes CodePen. It doesn't want to work sometimes. Let me see. Okay, save. And then put it back here, reload, and let's try this again. Open link. There you go. Okay, so I'm not sure what was wrong in that. I'll have to check it. So there you go, that's the code. So let me try to use this again. So let me copy paste this. Okay, and this time I want to use my tutorial links. Let me take this link here. And then try to use it with this. Saved. And then now let's reload. And if this doesn't work, then we know the issue is with the link. It's loading. There we go, folks. I think there was a small glitch, maybe with CodePen, or maybe because of the browser small and a lot of zoom and everything. So that is how you go ahead and use include a link in your HTML web page with a sentence. I always like to use my href link with a sentence. That is what you see here. So there we go. These are the basic HTML stacks that I want to teach you folks. If you look at the example code here, where is the example code? Let me just open that again. So this is the example I from the tutorial that I already written. So you have tags, images, you have images, list, and links. Same thing here, h1 tag, paragraph, hr tag, images, unordered list, and an ordered list, plus a simple link with a paragraph. So those are the things I want to teach you folks in this session. If you have any doubts, you can type it in. But what I've found out is if you have any questions, by now you would have typed in. So I don't think you have any questions as of now. So I'm going to wrap up this session here. So this is the Tuesday session. So we'll be back again tomorrow, same time. Let me put up the time here on the screen. 1 minute. Let me just put the time here. Let me close the PowerPoint. Oh, sorry. So let me put up the class timings here. So we'll be back again in the same time tomorrow as well. As I am closing all these things, if you have any questions, please do go ahead and type it in. Otherwise, of course, I will go ahead and see you tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining, all of you. And yes, I'll see you folks tomorrow. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye.